What is going on, everybody? We're back on it to My Hero Season 7, Episode 2. Pretty wild introduction to a character. I can't remember every season, every time we got introduced to, whether it was one of the classmates or one of the villains or one of the heroes, but have we had a bigger, strong impression than just like, holy shit, like what is this? What is this ability? Maybe Overhaul? Just like right off rip. That's all that pops into my head. She's pretty insane, and it looks like the consensus, like, I didn't know if it was blasphemy to say, like, now of course you have to remove like the end game outliers, remove All Might, remove whatever Deku's gonna turn into at the very end of the show, and probably whatever the Shigaraki all for one combo is. So like, remove those three. Like, you can't have accurate power scaling discussions with those three in conversation. Remove those three. Is there anybody else that we've seen in the show, or that might even have the potential to be more than whatever she is with that ability? I would say maybe Overhaul. I don't want to say Aerie, because I feel like Aerie, it helps others. Like, what is Aerie if she's just by herself, you know? Now Aerie on the back of like a Todoroki, Aerie on the back of like an Overhaul, like, okay, then, you know, it's crazy. She's like a damn Yumi in League of Legends. Just let her latch on and you can go crazy. But I can't think of off the top of my head. Maybe Shigaraki by himself before he turned into whatever this combo nonsense is. Maybe Overhaul if he had his mind on right. But off the top of my head, I can't think of just, she's got to be like top 1 or top 3 when we're talking about just most busted ability, busted characters in the entire show. Now with that statement, if you've watched anime long enough and you read manga and those type of things, and you're kind of in the shonen genre, I know, you know, we all know, this is not her fight to win. You know, it's not gonna be, Midoriya, did you hear the news? Stars and Stripes, she defeated Shigaraki. She killed him. You know, All for One is no more. And, you know, the news, like, read all about it. It's not what she's here to do. We know whose battle that is, and that's Midoriya's battle. Now, whether Midoriya actually kills him in the end, or like they handshake it out as friends at the end, I have no idea how that's going to go. But we know that task of whatever defeating or talking down or changing the mind of is Midoriya's. So the question becomes, what is her purpose and her fate here? Because like I said, if you're a regular anime viewer, you know, like he's the end boss. And a character that we got introduced to for one episode is not going to then defeat said end boss, you know? So is she just introduced to just instantly be killed? Is this going to be like a Night Eye situation? Well, I mean, at least he got half of a season's worth. Do we think, I don't know how many episodes we've got, like 20 something this season, but I think like this is happening right now with no backup or anything too crazy. What's more likely? This fight just kind of ends and she just kind of like regroups. She gets killed here, or gets her ability taken. I'm going to, just because My Hero doesn't drop characters like that. By drop characters, I mean just kill them like that. I mean, they'll kill a couple. You know, Night Eye, Midnight, sprinkle in a couple others. I'm gonna say she gets her ability taken. But the problem is, like, Shigaraki is already an issue with all his EMP, regen, you know, everything else that he's got. Why would you allow him to have this? Just from a writer's standpoint, it's like, all right, we're writing ourselves into like a Madara corner here. We got to figure out a way to get out of this because we've made him too busted, you know? But if I had to guess, in the order of those three options of like, just somehow like maybe Endeavor shows up and the Shigaraki retreats and you know, they somehow just like, you know, it just ends. That option, she just straight up gets killed, or her Quirk gets taken. If I put those in order, Quirk taken, killed, regroup, fight. So I don't know if it's going to be this episode. I don't know how long she's scheduled to be around for, but I'm going to say she probably gets her Quirk taken by the end of this episode or the next couple episodes, which is so shit. It's so shit, you know, because I've been saying this for a while. I think since like last season. I know we've been ranting for like 5 minutes. When are the heroes going to get some like quirks on their side? You know, when are we going to get some of the, where's our Shigaraki abilities or our overhaul abilities? You know, where's our shit? Like we've got some, like the ice and fire's cool, and you've got Endeavor, you know, Hawks is weak, Genus is weak. We finally get a girl who we finally get a person that probably has the best quirk in the entire show on the hero side, and this shit's gonna get taken. I don't know. Where's our, you know, where's our shit at? So let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Because it'd be crazy if she's like, make me as strong as All Might. It's kind of hard to like quantify what that is, because I don't think she even knows what that is, or like. So I'm curious to like the limitations on that. Of like, what do you mean when she says that, you know? It's wild that like they're American and they're speaking Japanese. Because it's crazy. It's like, make me as strong as All Might. What does that mean? Make me Superman. Is that even quantifiable? But you would think it's like, is it? I don't know. Make me never able to take damage. What does that mean? Does that mean you're even invincible to All Might? If Prime All Might came up and United States smashed you in the chin, are you just eating that like nothing happened? Or like, where does that quantify? I don't know. I don't know where that limit is. Oh, I guess the question would be, why would there be a limit? Her quirk should be able to make her do that. But then it's also like, should her quirk be able to make her do that? Yeah, it's kind of just keeping him there. You need something that can come in and finish the job. We're just stuck. So. Are those nukes it? Or they have something in the ship? Oh, she wants them to keep him in place so she can hit him with something. Yep. It's either now or never. Bitch, what? The lasers are there. Keep him from regenning. She's gonna punch him with the nuke straight to the jaw. Whoa. Yo, say what you want about My Hero, but these first episode and a half have been... Honestly, this is when they're at their best. Can y'all get over there? We're just watching this, right? God damn, Endeavor, you fly, bro. Take a hard right. What are we doing? No, you didn't get him. He's gonna be on your back and probably kill you and take the quirk, which is gonna be just disgusting. He's literally like not even full. God damn. That's probably the most damage the newest Shigaraki's ever taken, huh? He never even ate it. He never even got the full brunt of it. He sent the Nomu up. That's what we saw. Guys, she's kind of stuck in the air. Somebody? I was about to say, she's kind of just falling to the ground. Can she touch herself and said, this thing can fly, or what? Shit. She should be able to do that. Like, this body can now oh, God. We can't let him have this. I don't understand how you beat this. He's regenning. I was about to say, we don't have anything stopping him from regenning. So what's the play here, girl? She looks like All Might. That's so crazy. Honestly, she's looked more like All Might than All Might because she doesn't... Ma'am. Surely we... Surely we... Oh my god, the two of them running around together? Holy shit. Oh my god, could you imagine those two running around? Surely we're not just gonna be, Nobara here, right? And just get our face touched point blank with, like, nothing. He's going in reverse order here. Because she showed up. Surely that didn't just happen, right? We're not in a Nobara situation where it's like, no, that didn't happen, that didn't happen. That's not right, that's not right, that's not right, that's not right, that's not right. She put a rule on herself, right? Oh no, he's taking it. He's taking it. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Okay. What? She used it on herself one last time? Yeah, she can only do... That's the problem, is it's like, what's the limit? She's gonna die. She's gonna die. She was gonna give up the quirk to save her physical body, and she didn't end up saving either. She was gonna give up her body to still keep her life, and is gonna lose both. My god. I hate how anticlimactic that was. Yeah? 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 What? What'd you do? Say, like, if this person absorbs this quirk or some shit? What is happening? What? I really hate how, like, Jujutsu Kaisen Nobara that was, where it's like, watch out, don't let him touch you. Touch my face. I hate how, like, that he just, like, blinked on her and touched her. Maybe she's got some juice? Huh? What is happening? She actually is still decaying, though. If, what'd she say? If he takes this quirk, then... What? What? Was she just pulling quirks out of him? Have we ever seen him that frustrated? Would have been to have my quirk stolen and... Yeah? What is she pulling out quirks that he's stolen? Is his voice actor Torkel, by the way? She's... God damn it, bro. I hate that so much. What's that back-to-back seasons where they've introduced some crazy character? Was it Mirko last season? Just coming in there fucking up those Nomus. She doesn't get killed, but essentially just never gonna fight again. And now she's... Yeah, he's gotta find somebody to give this quirk to. Fly away, bro. Go, 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 go. Endeavor. And Hawks, you have wings. Hawks, you have wings. What is taking so long? Oh my god. Anybody! Useless. Useless, by the way. Oh my god. Colossal Titan, take it easy. Where's the... Is anybody of use around here? Girl. She might be the top... Not, we're talking quirk-wise? I wish we would have got more time. It's so ass. We finally get some good, fresh, new character, new quirk. We got that for how long? An episode and a half. Not even, couldn't give me half a season. USA! USA! What? I'm afraid that these pilots are gonna get blinked on here in a minute. I don't think we've ever seen his voice that animated. Endeavor, can you... Is there ever a chance to just come finish it off? Anybody. Like, anybody. Bro, if it's not for plot, she beats him, by the way. This has got to be the Japan force has to be the useless pieces of shit. There's ever a chance to get on him and Hellfire flame his ass. No, Stars is gone, guys. GG. Ass. Actually ass. I think that's maybe the most frustrated I've been with a character like losing an ability or dying in this show. Actually, just in a lot of shows, actually. Between Mirio, but a part of me always knew Mirio was going to get his quirk back once we got introduced to Eri. And he did. That, Overhaul, and her. I'm just... What? These two are about to get their future ruined. Was he just gonna blast through the wall and touch one of them and give him this quirk? Yep. Guys, run. Tell me one of you has a blinking teleport ability. Oh, God. It. Oh my god. Will he never be able to take in a Quirk? Eh? Ha. Sheesh. Straight Attack on Titan vibes. Good lord. So what happened in the end of it all? There he is. All the hands and shit. Ooh. Clean. Clean, 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 clean. They're useless. These three have got to be the useless pieces of shit. Yep, that ain't good. She was the strongest in the world. Holy shit. She was the strongest. Once All Might went down, she's the strongest hero in the world. It's actually insane. We got introduced to her for half an episode. Yeah, it's kind of hard to want to send people out when she couldn't do it. And then what are the rest of us going to do? We got to protect our own countries, I guess. I wanted to see the two of them interact, too. Eh? I would have loved... Yeah, there's so much... I feel like... God, man. That is good to get that info. That's so fucked, though. There's a lot of questions we got. I have a lot of complaints. Who says, hey, he'll never get him again. He'll never get those quirks again, because he's got to find those people, and the quirks just cease to exist. Search party needs to be on it. Correct. Once you can stop at Dabi, in my personal opinion. Actually, add the Nomus, but stop there. Everybody else, as far as villains, they're kind of whatever. Of course, it depends who they're fighting. Because it depends. Like if you're gonna have the kids fight the Liberation Front, okay, then yeah, it's gonna be a battle. But if we can get some of the other top ones to just kind of handle the fodder, then they've got a week to get as juiced up as they can. All right, what do you guys got? How strong is his tail, and what are these purple balls about to do, bro? Like, what are they gonna do, man? Tell me. Seriously. Bro, end the episode. I don't want to see these kids. Trying to talk about what the hell just happened. Some of them, I just don't know what purpose they serve when when shit hits the fan. I guess the best way you can send off the kids is just have them fight some of the lower level Liberation Front people, but they're not gonna be like fighting the Dobbies and the Shigarakis and everything, you know. God, I would love to see. Now that I talked about it, maybe Overhaul gets a moment to see his dad, right, or the grandfather. I forget if it's his grandfather or his dad. He speaks to Eri. Could you imagine he mends that relationship and he has Eri on his back like a backpack and just goes crazy with his quirk? Holy shit. Probably would never happen just from her mental trauma, which I get, but holy hell. Can we talk about the like Attack on Titan looking? Like holy hell. Yeah, right here. Holy shot. So we had prediction at the beginning of the episode of like, what's more likely to happen? Does she lose her quirk? Does she die? Does somehow, you know, Shigaraki retreat or they retreat or whatever? It was option A and B. I thought she was just going to lose her quirk. She lost her quirk and she died. Now, there's a lot of specifics that kind of go into it because clearly she didn't. Like, how does he? Was he able to give off the quirk, like give it away? Or what? Because he was over there, found somebody to try to give it to. She was like, idiot, you know, started like saying all these things. Is he able to get rid of it, or is this going to be a thing where like he can't? No, because I don't know how that would make sense. I'm assuming he got rid of it. Kind of when we see her kind of like decaying away in the other plane, in the other world. I'm assuming he was able to give it away, because that would make no sense if the New Order quirk stayed in there, he'd be left with nothing. There'd be no quirks left. I think if she was able to stay in there with that quirk, just kind of eating away at him, decaying away his quirks, if you want to say it that way, I think there would only be two things left at the end of it all: Shigaraki and his decay quirk, and All for One's stockpiling, you know, stealing and taking quirk. I think at the base of it, if she stays in there and keeps going crazy, those would be the two just foundation base quirks left, and that would be it. He would lose the regen, lose the EMP shit, lose the wings that we saw, like anything that we've ever seen him do. There would only be two quirks left. So I'm assuming she did give it away. He did give it away to that guy there at the end. But how many quirks did she get rid of? Well, the question is, how many does he have? Which I don't think we ever got a number, nor will we ever get a number. Let's just give it a flat number and say 100 quirks that he had. And he's been like selectively picking some. And it's not like he gave them to somebody to then go take again, you know? It's not like he comes across Todoroki and he's like, here, hold these quirks. He's like, here, take this. And then he loses a valuable quirk in battle, comes back to find Todoroki again and takes that quirk back. The quirks are just gone. He didn't give them to anybody. They didn't go anywhere. He didn't exchange anything. They just are ceasing to exist. So depending what she took, so he's just never going to have access to them again. Now, granted, he still has his ability. So say he had 100 quirks and she destroyed 80 of them. He still got a handful on him, and it still doesn't keep him from stockpiling up quirks again. So he could go to Bakugo, he could go to Todoroki, he could go to, you know, any of the other students, Endeavor, Dobby, what, you name it. He could just restockpile. It definitely throws a wrench into the plans, because I'm curious if we get other specifics on what she was able to destroy. But nobody on the hero side would know that. Only he would, unless we get kind of like an inner monologue from Shigaraki / All for One combo. We don't know what he had, so we don't know what he lost. He wasn't saying like, oh, there's my regen. Oh, there's my EMP. He said, I lost my reflect quirk and that was it. So it kind of seems cool in the moment. Well, like we don't really know what he lost and what he still has access to because we didn't know that as a viewer. So he still might have, even though let's say he had 100 and she took 80 of them, the 20 he had might have been the 20 that he needed. He might have just, those other 80 might have just been like fun to have, but those 80 aren't going to be the reason that makes or break him defeating Midoriya and the other heroes or not. But he doesn't have access. Her quirk is also gone too, though, right? I think that was the rule imposed on her quirk. So he gave it away. He wants nothing to do with that shit. Which is insane to me. So that's the specifics of it, of like what she got rid of, what he still has. It's a blow, but it's not detrimental because we don't know what he still has access to. And from a writer's perspective, you could write in him having, like I said, you could come out with a narrator saying something like, on that day against Stars and Stripes, All for One lost 80% of his quirks. But I can, that 20% that's left, I could write in the most busted, broken things and just make it seem like, oh wow, he lost 80%. Bro, that 20 could be the most busted thing this side of the Mississippi. So that's TBD, kind of what, the story chooses to do with that. Is that the most, like, just from a visual standpoint, like, you guys see what we're looking at here? This straight up Attack on Titan scene that we get going here. I'm trying to think of, like, scenes throughout the 7 seasons that were just, like, holy, like, visually that crazy. I'd say maybe Deku and Todoroki's fight in the tournament. All for One versus One for All Might there. Some of the visuals on that were crazy. The overhaul visuals were crazy. But this is up there. Like, it's crazy. I enjoyed her character a lot. And it sucks that, like, not just from like, man, I really wish she was still a character. Man, I really wanted to see what more her quirk can do, which is yes, because I feel like it's limitless, but also has limits at the same time. But I would love to see, like, we were seeing it there in the flashback, or not in the flashback, but he was sitting there saying the worst case scenario is her and Midoriya team up, and I've got to deal with his stockpile shit that he's got going on in the past messages and her quirk at the same time. Like, he was worried about that shit. He was worried about her. And I wanted to see her, like, interact with Endeavor. I'd love to see All Might interacting with her, because I'm sure maybe that there might be some side movies and stuff like that where, like, maybe a younger her, followed around All Might, or they interacted, or maybe she studied under him. I don't know if the only interaction they ever had was that flashback that we saw that, like, he saved her family when she was a little girl. I would probably say that they've had some interactions. But I would have loved to have seen what he thought of her. Like, actually, like, them having a conversation, like, her looking like that. I feel like there's just so many missed opportunities there. That I would love to have seen that. And those are things that we're never going to see. We're never going to get to see her as, like, at this point in time, not anymore, she's the #1 hero in the world. And honestly, I don't want to go too crazy. Is it safe? Can an argument be made that she's the #1 hero in the world post All Might injury? I'm not even saying once All Might fully lost it, when he had his final battle with All for One and, was able to, like, get him locked up and imprisoned. I'm saying since even in season 1 when we saw All Might and he had that. If she somehow can outlast him time-wise before he has to kind of, like, power back down. I mean, that's the only way you make this, like, an accurate thing. The conversation could be, like, as his limiter was getting less and less and less, and he kind of, like, had one punch of juice in him, but couldn't hold it for that long. I don't know if I'm underestimating a weakened All Might. But is this safe? Like, I don't know. She might have been the #1, or an argument could have been made that she could have been the #1 hero at that point. Just off of pure quirk and ability, just because given he can't hold that form for that long. So she can just somehow just new order, time, wait him out, Who knows how that goes? Now, again, that might be blasphemous, but I would say that there's an argument to be made that she's the second hero in the world, slash maybe even the first hero, as close as All Might was getting to like running out of time with his limit until he fully ran out of it. It just sucks that we don't get to see the two of them. I would have loved to have seen her in her final, like what she's become, the #1 hero in the world, and like the lesser All Might, and them like interacting with each other. I would have loved to see them interact with Endeavor. Speaking of Endeavor, what are they actually doing? Now, granted, you could say like, oh, well, that was happening at the same time, and it was just shown from their angle, so there was no way they could get over there fast enough, and yada yada blah blah blah. But weren't they notified that she was even there before it got to this point, and they were able to see it? This man flies. Hawks has wings. Could they not have gotten over there in some form or fashion? They saw like all these, like, again, you could say that fight maybe took a max of like 2 minutes. So for them to go over there, and maybe because they saw that explosion from the nukes that she attempted to punch him with. We saw them see that in real time. Now, what the time difference was between that explosion and Shigaraki blinking on her, maybe you say like, oh, that was 30 seconds. There was no way that they could get over there. But even then, him getting shot with all the lasers, him exploding, him flying away, I just feel like there was a lack of urgency there. Now, granted, you could make the argument, well, it was happening at the same time, so they tried to get over there, but it all happened so fast. But since it was drawn out in an episode, it really only took 3 minutes. Whatever. Sure, if that's the argument you want to make. Yeah, and it's just insane. It's really unfortunate. Because at least with like Overhaul coming on the scene and Mirio coming on the scene, which are like, I feel like 2 of my more impactful characters in this show, of like, holy shit, Quirk, holy shit, the things that they were able to do, they were drawn out, you know, and the 2 of them are still alive, and Mirio was given his Quirk back. Now, granted, it was impactful as hell. And maybe had we got a drawn out season of her and, you know, her losing it in the end, and her Midoriya having a classic moment of like, it's your turn now, I did what I could, and yada yada, maybe it would lose a little bit of its juice. But man, I feel like so much was missed with her that could have been explored. And the true like limits of her Quirk. Now, granted, there might be like side novels I can read or a movie that more explores it. I get that that's there, but I want to see it contained in the story, you know? I don't want to go side movie or side novel something. When I feel like there was so much substance yet to be had with her character. Yeah, and it's crazy of like, it depends how it's written, because you could write that like it does have the ability, it's limitless. And when she makes a statement that like this body will not decay, I feel like it's from an author's standpoint of like, do you want to allow her Quirk to do that or not? Because if you do allow it to do that, because it was showing like the stamina that her body was able to keep up with from the decay, and it just wasn't able to do it. I would assume similar quirks like Overhaul would just kind of eat through her the same way. But I feel like but then on the flip side, it's like if you allow her to do that, she probably would be able to make herself as strong as All Might. Like literally as strong as All Might, without the drawbacks of like the vestiges and the time that you're going to have with this quirk and yada yada yada. I guess the explanation of it would have to be along the lines of like, if it's a quirk that's ever been seen or that's in the universe or something that's just kind of out there in the world, she can mimic it perfectly. That's tough. It's like, do you want her to be that broken or do you not? I would like her to have been that broken, but if she is, she probably just wins. Solo. Now again, we already knew going into this what this was going to be. I said it at the beginning of the reaction. It's not her story. It's not her fight. It's not her victory. You know, it's not her job. It's this kid's job over here. So we knew how this was going to go. I just didn't think it was going to be both. But I guess it was just her dying, because he doesn't get to use her quirk, which is good. So I guess if you really look at it, it was just option B. She just dies. The quirk was stolen, but he's not going to get any use out of it. He can't use it. You saw what happened when he took it in. which is actually wild that like her quirk is a tangible thing that she was able to give a rule to. Like, do you understand what we're talking about here? New order will oppose other quirks. So now her quirk is like a physical, tangible thing. I guess if it can be taken and it can be given, it is like, you can't see it, I can't touch it, but it is like a physical thing out there somewhere in the universe, in this universe. And it manifested itself into a physical thing, and it made the other quirks manifest. And like, you see her holding like the physical bodies of like other quirks. That's a whole nother level in discussion. Regardless of, these first 2 episodes have been great. They've been pretty good. I could have done without the kid stuff at the end. I feel like that took away from the episode a little bit. But My Hero did this last season. When My Hero is on, they're on. I know it's kind of been hit or miss the last couple seasons. When you sit down and really break it down, My Hero has some of the most I'd say that some of the most, I don't know how long they've been out for. What is it? It's been like 10 years since season 1 came out. There's some iconic scenes over the last decade across all anime in My Hero. The overhaul and Deku fight, when that came out, that shit was breaking internet. Like, that's iconic. The Midoriya versus Todoroki, was that season 2? Like, that's up there. Nomu versus All Might, All for One versus One for All. Like, that stuff is up there. Mirio's moments, like some of these moments are like moments that, like, if you're a person that like keeps up with anime and you watch, I guess maybe the popular animes that come out, and you remember those moments, and I feel like this is going to be one of those moments again. Shit, episode 1 was for sure. So I don't know, I'm just rambling at this point. We got a 40-minute video here. I enjoyed her character a lot, and I feel like, that's the second time we had this badass woman character on the scene to start a season, and she's just gone. At least Mirko is still alive, but she's never, ever, ever going to be the same again. She's just dead. #1 hero in the world, just gone. Same thing with All Might. He was there and he's gone. She was there and he's gone. We got to remove these pieces out the way just so Midoriya can have his moments. Boy, I tell you what. Like, it's okay, man. We can let her win. It's fine. We can just end the story that way. I'm fine with it. But yeah, I wish she was still alive. I wish that we could have seen her interact with Midoriya. Like, oh, so you're All Might's successor, and to see them spar or train, and just to see her crank out like new rules in a sparring session, just pop, 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 while Deku's trying to like get on her. Man, that would have been insane. Seeing her interact with All Might in his current state, and him seeing her in her state, seeing her in Endeavor. She even mentioned Endeavor, like, oh man, his flames, if his flames couldn't do it, this won't do it. Just you want to see an anime character in a world, you know, reacting with the other characters, interacting with the other characters, to see their personalities, to see how their quirks would go alongside each other, against each other, you know, just all those like regular things. We didn't get any of it, but it's pretty amazing. I'll give him that. Even though we didn't get any of that, no All Might interaction, no Endeavor, no Midoriya, you know, no her taking her quirk to another level. I didn't know if she'd maybe like, would be like she's getting pushed so hard by him that she's able to make a third rule, or, you know, whatever it might be. Even though we didn't get like any of that, the 1.5 episodes that they did give her, I'll take it. I'll take it. So we'll go ahead and leave it there. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,